And we are back. Of course, if you haven't seen part one, check it out because that's the precursor to this one. Although be warned, I do go into like a lot of history before in the beginning, so you can probably skip ahead a little bit until the last couple minutes where I start getting into like what's going on. I sort of take a while to frame the War of Spanish Succession. Of course, I'm not really a historian, folks. If it hasn't been 100% clear, I'm trying my best here to understand what happened before we were born, which I think is interesting. Hey Siri, set a timer for 13 minutes. All right, so we're gonna keep moving on. So okay, Spain is not a predominant power in Europe anymore. But it's a global power, and it has remaining a global power, including Spanish Netherlands, large parts of Italy, and the Americas. Its union with either France or Austria threatened. Okay, so it does a union with France or Austria, and that threatens European balance of powers. The proclamation of Philip the King in 1700 led to war. Philip of Anjou. Which, by the way, if Charles actually named him heir, he's the heir. I mean, right? What do you guys think? I think he's totally the heir. If the guy who was king was like, you are going to be the king, then he's the king. Right? I don't know. I don't know really how it works, but it seems to me like he has the best claim. So when Philip asserts himself as king, war starts because Austria is like, hell no. Excuse my language. You're not going to be the king. Although by 1709, so basically 10 years later, the Allies had forced France onto the defensive, Philip had confirmed his position in Spain and the ostensible cause of the war. So he basically, France seems to be winning this thing. When Emperor Joseph I, who's Joseph I? Holy Roman Emperor. I'm going to click in. Just because this guy's an epic wig. Who doesn't want to see that? Look at that, dude. He looks like a Targaryen. Habsburgs are Targaryens. They're like super fair-skinned, and they do a lot of inbreeding. Totally like, yeah, he's a Habsburg. Yeah, the Habsburgs are the Targaryens for sure. Okay, so when Joseph dies in 1711, the Archduke Charles succeeds him as the Roman Emperor. Aha. Union with Austria was as unwelcome as that with France. Excuse me. So union with Austria was as unwelcome as that with France. Aha. While mounting costs led the new British government, of course, to withdraw from the war. So the British withdraw. The British, I assume. They were backing Austria. So when they get out, he's basically he's without a big ally, and he's forced to make peace due to the loss. And this leads to the 1713 Peace of Utrecht, followed by the treaties of Rastatt and Baden in 14. So 13 we have the Peace of Utrecht. Philip was confirmed, so Philip of Anjou was confirmed as King of Spain, but in compensation he renounced his place in the French line of succession and ceded much of Spain's Italian territories of Savoy, to Savoy and Austria. Aha. Which also acquired the Austrian Netherlands. Britain received Gibraltar. Okay, I was always curious why there's like a British holding in the middle of Spain. Interesting. Along with trade concessions in the Americas. And was established as the dominant European commercial entity. So this is a huge blow to Spain. So they get rid of, where's Minorca? So it's a fortress in Spain. It's an island. So Britain receives this, along with trade concessions in the Americas. For the Dutch, despite securing and expanding their barrier fortresses, the war marked the beginning of their decline as a major European power, while France was left financially exhausted. So let's have a look at the quick facts for this, dare I say, confusing time of period for me at least. So it happens, kicks off when Charles II dies, right? Philip of Anjou is named, but Archduke Charles of Austria asserts himself, 10 years of battle, and then Joseph dies, so Archduke succeeds him. He's busy, now he needs to be the Holy Roman Emperor, and then basically Britain, which isn't totally clear yet, but there's a lot of mounting costs, and it leads them to withdraw. So they leave the war, and then the Grand Alliance is sort of weakened, and they do this Peace of Utrecht, where Spain cedes territory, to Britain, and Britain is solidified as a strong power. And because of these secessions, Spain is left much weaker. So it's happening, a lot of different theaters. It's not a world war because we're still not encompassing the globe, but look at this: Caribbean, Atlantic, Mediterranean, Europe, Treaties of Utrecht, territorial changes. Bourbon, Spain is a hyperlink to Spain. So Bourbon, Spain. Bourbon, Spain. Got it. Bourbon is probably French, so it's like French Spain, basically. So pro-Bourbon, House Bourbon. So Philip of Anjou is House Bourbon. So we have, these are super helpful, these maps, or these little boxes here. So we have pro-Bourbon, so pro-Philip of Anjou. Philip of Anjou, again, we said was literally related to he was the grandson of Louis XIV of France. So, yeah, in terms of they don't have a lot of so who's on their side? France, Bavaria, Cologne, Savoy, but they turn Mantua, don't even know what that is. Not like a lot of different countries, or they do, but anyways, not this big ones, it seems. So pro-Habsburg. By the way, pro-Habsburg has the X of Spain. 1 second. That's super confusing, because Spanish Empire has the X. So it's almost as if, someone help me out in the comments if there's anyone here. Why would pro Habsburg have the X? Like, have the symbol of the Spanish Empire. It's as if like Spain itself wants a Habsburg. Could that be the case? I don't know. But be it as it may, they are backed, the pro Habsburgs are backed by Dutch Republic, Britain, England, by the way, which is different from Great Britain. So it's the sovereign state in Western Europe. It was created. Man, this is just, my layman is showing strong right now. I didn't even know about this, that this was sort of founded. Great Britain, also known as the Kingdom of Great Britain, is a sovereign state from 1707 to the end of 1800. So it was like created at 1707. Interesting. And England, of course, is a sovereign state on the island of Great Britain. I'm confused. I need to this is like a whole other deep dive. Sorry, folks, for this messy rhapsody that I'm going on. Anyways, so we have pro Habsburg. Let's do this one more time. We have Holy Romans, England, Great Britain, different. Dutch Republic, Prussia. Prussia is basically a part of Germany. Portugal and Savoy. Okay, a lot of deaths. Not a lot if you look at like World War I, but still a lot of deaths. And I do want to mention something interesting. Actually, yeah, we could continue this. Where I'm going to get into maybe the aftermath. Or actually, there's a lot of cool... Wow, look at this painting. What a beautiful painting. Royal Navy destroys that. So we could get into this later. Anyways, I'm going to cut this one short. If you made it this far, thanks for watching me stumble through this sort of new topic for me in history. I did leave some open questions for you guys because I know there's some experts here in the comment section, so let me know. Anyways, this was fun. I learned a lot. And there's still a lot more to discover in this Wikipedia page, by the way. Huge. Anyway, subscribe, leave a comment, and I cannot iterate enough. Make it a clear, legible comment that I can understand. Don't be like a robot person and just write random numbers or things that don't make sense grammatically as well. Like, try to use the many resources we have to translate from your mother tongue language to English so that I can understand the language that you're using. Have a good rest of the week, folks. Wiki with me is signing out.